All right, first and foremost, I want to give call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. That's all praises to the Most High God. And the name is only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. It's your brother, Tazapanya Yahweh, from the Sakari, Chicago sect, coming back at you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai with another edifying video. Oh, Shabbat Shalom, Barak Shabbat to all the lunar Sabbath observers out there. It's the Sabbath right now. Evening to evening. So it started this evening. It'll end tomorrow evening. So hopefully all you Akim and you princesses out there have, gotten your essentials y'all need to make it through the Sabbath, man. Whether it be food, fruit, anything that y'all needed to prepare beforehand. But as you can see, we're going to get into the history of dreadlocks, because, there's a major misconception in the Israelite community that dreadlocks are Israelite culture. It's been a dreadlock craze that has been going on in mostly the so-called black community since about like the mid 2000s all the way up till now. The Chief Keef, Lil Wayne, basically started a whole craze of niggas just wanting to go run and get dreads. Future, et cetera, right? But people read the scriptures, man, and they don't go into the etymology of words, neither do they go into Hebrew. And that's a real big problem, man, because when you see certain words that are written in Old English, because we read the most of the brothers and sisters that I know have 1611, King James Bibles, and that's written in Old English. So they'll see the word lock in the King James Bible and say, see, Nazarites had dreadlocks. Well, that's a bunch of BS, man. We're going to prove it through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, when we go into the scriptures, and it's easily debunkable, man. All right. So we're going to get into this article, and then we're going to get into the scriptures, probably, look at a few things, that's needed to bring the point out. But let's just go ahead and get into it, without further ado. Where do dreadlocks come from? So this is from the culturetrip.com is where you can find this. So here we go. A quick search about the origin of dreadlocks will yield several hints from different sources, but all point to one common conclusion. Dreadlocks have been around for ages in countless civilizations and among several distinct peoples. It is certain that earlier civilizations didn't have all the hairstyling gear and products we now possess, and were most likely roaming around with matted hair, regardless of their origin or race. In ancient Greece, for example, some of the earliest depictions of dreads date back to 3600 BC. Indeed, frescoes uncovered in Crete, birthplace of the Minoan civilization, and in the Thera, modern-day Centroni, show individuals with long braided hairstyles. So as you can see, this is pottery from Greece, the ancient Grecians. As you can see, they're brown people, they're not white, so this is showing you, the Japhetic Grecians, the original Grecians that were in Greece before the Edomites came and ran them up out of there and assumed their identity. All right, but as you can see, this is a ancient Grecian custom, man, having dreadlocks. All right, as we can see on their on an ancient what is this? I think it's either a painting. It's a frescoes. All right, so Let's keep reading. In ancient Egypt, bas reliefs and other artifacts have been found to show Egyptians donning braided hairstyles and even wigs. Furthermore, the first archaeological evidence of dreadlocks comes from there, where mummies have been discovered sporting dreadlocks still in good shape. So let me just show you something right quick. Amenemhet III, 6th King, 12th Dynasty, 1860 through 1814 BC, son of Sennacherib III, right? And this is one of those Egyptian statues, and you see the hairstyle, man. You know, he has dreadlocks, man. All right. So let's get out of that. Let's go back to this. Matter of fact, let's go to this. Year-old tomb discovered in ancient Egypt. So let's just get this right. Hold on, wait. Salakia. I went too far. Okay. Photo 1 of 6. Credit Amir Nabil AP. Right? Relief statues are seen at the recently uncovered tomb of the priest's royal purification during the region of King Nefri Arkari, named Wa'atai, at the site of the step pyramid of Saqqara in Giza, Egypt, Saturday, December 15, 2018. The Egyptian Archaeological Mission, working at the Sacred Animal Necropolis and Saqqara archaeological site, succeeded to uncover the tomb. Antiquities Minister Khalid El Anai announced. Right, so this is an ancient Egyptian tomb, man, and as you can see, you know, they got dreadlocks, man. You know, long dreadlocks, man. All right. Let's go over. Wait a minute. Here goes some more of the statues, you know, sporting the hairstyle. And then you even got them, you know, right here. All right. It's like they're built into the walls, man. All right. So, all right. Let's go back to the article. Oh, you know what? Matter of fact, let's get one more thing. Let me open up another tab. Ancient Egyptian dreadlocks. Okay, you see this? You see this mummy right here? This is a mummy, man. This is an Egyptian mummy that has dreadlocks, man. All right. So as you can see, this is also Egyptian culture, man. So we got Greece and we got Egypt. You know where we can see dreadlocks at, right? So let me get up out of that. Let's go back here. All right. Thanks to the Vedas, the oldest scriptures of Hinduism, right, which date back as far as 1500 BC, dreadlocks were also known in India. So this is talking about the East Indians, man. All right. The biblical Elamite that the Bible speaks of. I didn't say Edomite. I said Elamite. All right. Where Hindu god Shiva is described as wearing dreadlocks or jata in Sanskrit. Right. So everybody know who Shiva is. But for people that don't, let's just go ahead and get him, man. Shiva. Boom. Here we go. Shiva is one of the most important gods in the Hindu pantheon, and along with Brahma and Vishnu, is considered a member of the Holy Trinity of Hinduism. And as you can see, you know, Shiva is depicted to have dreadlocks, man. You know, let me get a better. Yeah, here goes a better depiction right here. As you can see, you know, matted dreadlocks, man. you know. All right. So let's get out of that. Let's go back to the article. All right. As such, many civilizations in Asia Minor, Caucasus, the Near East, Mediterranean, and North Africa have been depicted wearing locked hairstyles during the Iron and Bronze Ages. Historians have uncovered Roman accounts stating that the Celts wore their hair like snakes, and that several Germanic tribes and Vikings were known to wear dreadlocks. The Aborigines and native populations of New Guinea have been sporting the style for centuries now, and dreads are also been worn around Africa, notably by the Maasai, the Ashanti, the Gala, and the Fulani tribes. Now, I know somebody will say, "We'll see, the Ashanti are Israelites." Everybody in the Ashanti tribe is not a Israelite. You must understand that it is a remnant of our people over there in the land. Remnant means small number. All right. They're outnumbered by who? The heathens. They're mixed in. All right. So everybody that belongs to the Ashanti tribe is not an Israelite. All right. So you can understand. And if the Israelites that are and if the Ashanti people that are Israelites are wearing dreadlocks, they got it from the heathen that they're scattered abroad, that they're scattered around, man. All right. It's not our customs. You know, we pick a lot of these things up, you know, from being under subjugation and in captivity and under captivity, you know, and being under these heathens, man. All right. That's why the Bible tells us, you know, not to follow in the way of the heathen, you know, because we're scattered amongst them, man. You know, although we're scattered amongst them, we're not supposed to do as they do, you know. But of course, you know, Jake is hard headed, and we end up, you know, going to do everything that the Most High tells us not to, you know. So, you know, but let's just keep going in the article. But perhaps the most frequent example of our modern times in music is music legend and fervent Rastafarian Bob Marley, which is an Edomite. Matter of fact, let me just prove that, right? Let's get Bob Marley's father, right? Norval Marley. This is his father, man. This is Bob Marley's father, man. All right? It's his dad. You know, that's his mom, which is a Jake, but that's his father. He's his father's seed, man. All right? So he's what you call he's a tear, man. He's a chocolate-covered Edomite. All right? He has an Israelite mother, and he has a Edomite father, man, so-called white man. So Bob Marley is a damn heathen, man. All right? So let me go back to the article. Historians have uncovered, I read that already, but perhaps the most frequent example of our modern times is music legend and fervent Rastafarian Bob Marley, who most likely popularized the style through his music and the Rastafari movement. Dreads inspired by Nazarites of the Bible mark a covenant with God, since combs, razors, and scissors are believed to have been an invention of Babylon, which refers to Western read white society. Yeah, this is a bunch of BS, right? And we're gonna prove it throughout the scriptures, because, you know, they say that dreadlocks are inspired by Nazarites, and see, they don't know how to read the Bible. Okay, they're getting hung up on that word lock, which we're about to go into. And actually, we're going to go into the actual Nazarite vow and go into that word and see what it actually means. So let's get the etymology first. This is lock, right? It says trees of hair, Old English lock, lock of hair, curl, plural lakas, from Proto-Germanic lukos, source also of Old Norse lakar, Old Saxon, Old Frisian, Dutch, lock, old High German lock of hair. So as we can see, it just means a lock of hair. It's just hair, man. You know, if you have hair, you have locks. All right. It's not talking about a dreaded lock, a matted lock. It just says hair, a lock of hair. When you think of Goldilocks, you know, you've never seen a depiction of Goldilocks, although it's a fictional story. You've never seen Goldilocks with dreads. She just had long hair. All right. But let's get into the Bible, man. Let's just go into the scriptures, right? Let's see. This is number 6. Let's go ahead and get the Nazarite vow, right? Number 6 and 5. This is number 6 and 5. All the days of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head until the days be fulfilled, in the which he separateth himself unto Yahweh. He shall be holy, and shall let the locks of his hair and shall let the locks of his hair of the hair of his head grow. Right. So let's go into the Hebrew, right, and see what this word lock mean. Right. It's Strong's H6545.
Strong's H6545. Perre.
So it's the word para, right? Because we know there's no E in the Hebrew. It would be P-A-R-A. Para, right? So, but anyway, look at the outline biblical uses. Hair, long hair, of head, locks, leader. Strong's definitions from 86544, the hair as disheveled, locks. So this also agrees with what we just looked up in the etymology. It's just showing you that that word lock just means hair, man. Hair, long hair. Nazarites supposed to have long hair, you know, until their vow is up, and then they cut their hair. All right. But let's go ahead and get something else to dispel this whole thing that Nazarites had dreadlocks. Let's go to the law. Leviticus 18:3. This is Leviticus 18:3. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I shall bring you, ye shall not do. Neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. You know, we just went into the history of dreadlocks, and it showed that Egyptians wore dreadlocks. It's not that every Egyptian wore them, you know, because Egyptians had different hairstyles, but we do have, you know, valuable, tangible evidence that Egyptians, who were once our oppressors, just like the Grecians were once our oppressors, you know, they had dreadlocks, man. All right. And that's following in the way of the heathen, you know. And it just got specific in Leviticus 18:3. It just told you not to do, you know, what the Egyptians done after you were brought up out of their land. You know, and this is talking to who? The Israelites, man. You blacks, Latins, and Native Americans, man. So y'all shouldn't be out here with no damn dreadlocks in your head, man. All right. Let's get back to the article right quick. Boom. All right. So historians have uncovered Roman accounts. Oh, okay, Salakia, I keep reading the same thing. Okay. Today we see a worldwide trend of locks, which has sparked the debate on cultural appropriation, a term often misused. While it would be presumptuous to say that dreadlocks belong to one particular culture, as a quick research shows, it is certain that the cultural appropriation advocates respond in this way, given the many times that hairstyles typically worn by African Americans are seen unprofessional or dirty on them, but are considered cool on others. Well, it doesn't even matter, man. Who the hell has them? Dreadlocks are dirty, man. All right. I know this from experience. You know, I had dreadlocks from, you know, I want to say 2006 or 7. Yeah, from like 2006 or 7 all the way up until 2017, man. Before I became a soldier in the Sakari. So I know from personal experience, them joints is, they're nasty, man. They're dirty, man. All right, they're unclean. All right, there's no way in hell you can clean the inside of a dreadlock, man. All right, it's a bunch of gook and muck, all compiled within a dreadlock, man. Whatever you putting in your hair, that's not getting up out of there. You're washing the outside of it, but you're not getting in the inside of the lock, man. It's matted, it's matted madness, man. All right, and it's unclean. Okay, but anyway, let's get back into the article. Whether it is worn as a political statement due to spiritual conviction or simply as a fashion statement. If you have dreadlocks or are considering trying out this way of wearing your hair, the best thing you can do is know the reason why you are wearing them, so that the day someone asks you why you have them, you can say what they mean to you. Yeah, that's a bunch of BS, man. But as you can see, these are Shiva worshipers, man, right here, man. These them damn Elamites, man. And I don't even think these are Elamites. These look like Edomites, posing as Elamites. But nonetheless, man, it's also ingrained in East Indian culture, man. All right. So the point is, it's not Israelite culture. All right. And if you see an Israelite with dreadlocks, they just, following in the way of the heathen, man. Like we've been known to do time and time again. So let's get back into the scriptures. We'll just want to get a couple more. So Israelite 101, everybody knows that we were oppressed in Egypt. We were also oppressed by the Grecians. We've been oppressed by every damn body, man. So let's just go ahead and bring out Proverbs 3:31. Envy not thy oppressor and choose none of his ways. We bring this out on the streets all the time when we see blacks, Latin, and Native American sisters walking around with blonde wigs on their head, man. Or dyeing their hair blonde, walking around with blue contacts in their eyes, wanting to look like the goddamn white whore, man. All right. Let's bring that out again. Proverbs 3:31. Envy not thy oppressor and choose none of his ways. That goes for the Egyptian. That goes for all these other nations, man. All right. And let's just go ahead and prove that all these other nations have been our oppressors. All right. Thus saith the Holy Bible. Let's get that. This is 1 Maccabees 2:7. He said, woe is me. Therefore was I born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city, and to dwell there, when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of strangers, right? And them strangers is talking about heathen, man. All right. Verse 8. Her temple is become as a man without glory. It's talking about our temple, man. All right. First Maccabees 2:9. Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets. Her young man with the sword of the enemy. Here goes the point. First Maccabees 2:10. What nation have not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils, man? All right. And when you go into the book of Psalms, I forgot exactly which chapter it is, but Psalms actually names nation after nation after nation that have conspired, against the Israelites, man. All right. So it basically is telling you that every nation on planet Earth is against you blacks, Latins, and Native Americans, man. All right. So you don't need to be envying none of your oppressors, none of these nations, man. You don't need to be doing what they doing, man. All right. Let's get Jeremiah 10:2 is always a good one. Jeremiah 10:2. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. This is basically, when you keep reading down, like the chapter 3, it goes into the, cutting of a tree, and that's linked to, your modern day Christmas tree. But, the point was in the first part of chapter verse 2. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen. It's not just talking about not worshiping the sun, stars, and moon. It's talking about, learn not any other ways of the heathen, man. But chiefly Jeremiah 10:2 is going into, them being stargazers and moon worshipers and, all that type of madness, man. All right. But the point is, go not in the ways of the heathen, man. And that also includes, wanting to have their hairstyles, you know. Let's see, is that it? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, man. Let me go back. Yeah, so basically, when you see the word lock in the script, matter of fact, let me go back, because it's another word for lock in the scriptures, right? That also still means, hair. So let's go to Song of Songs 5:5, right? We're gonna end off with these two scriptures, man. I rose up to open to my beloved, and my hands dropped with myrrh, and my fingers with sweet smelling myrrh upon the handles of the lock, right? Upon the handles of the lock. Let's see. Let's look up this word lock. Yeah, I think this is talking about. Okay, this is talking about an actual bolt like to a door. That's not what I want, Salakia. I do want the one in Ezekiel, though. The one in Ezekiel in context is talking about hair. Okay, here we go. Boom. This is Ezekiel 8:3. And he put forth the form of an hand and took me by a lock of mine head. And the spirit lifted me up between the earth and the heaven, and brought me into the visions of God to Jerusalem, to the door of the inner gate that looketh toward the north, where was the seat of the image of jealousy, which provoketh to jealousy, right? So let's go into this word lock, right? Because we know it's talking about the hair on his head when you read it in context. So where is it at? Grabbed me, lifted me up. Okay, me by a lock of mine head. So let's look at this word. This is Strong's H6734.
Strong's H6734. Seat Sith. Seat Sith.
So, all right. It says fringe, tassel, lock. All right. A foral or wing or wing-like projection, i.e., a forelock of hair. A forelock of hair, a tassel, fringe, lock. So, forelock of hair. Let's look up what a forelock is. Right. Boom. Let's get up out of that. Forelock. Let's see if this is talking about dreadlocks. Matted locks. Right. Lock of hair. Forelock now. Lock of hair growing above the forehead. As you can see, man, this word lock or forelock is just talking about hair, man. That's all it's talking about. If you don't have a bald head, you have locks of hair. Right now, I'm growing a fro, man. So I have, short locks of hair. All right. When brothers, have, large fros or whatnot, what do they have? They have long locks of hair. It's not talking about a dread lock, a matted lock. That's not what it's talking about, man. So, anybody that's out pushing that and teaching that, now you know how to combat it. And I think that's pretty much it, man. So I'm going to end off and say, call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And y'all have a beautiful and blessed Shabbat, man. So with that, shalom.